Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Live All Good podcast. I hope that you have found episodes 1 and 2 of our essential oils series. I hope you found those very informative. We will be picking up with episode 3 right after a short break with our favorite DoTerra representative. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 3 of our 5-part series of essential oils. And I believe our representative from doTERRA is Taylor again. Taylor, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Hey, all right. I got it right. I wasn't sure if they were going to send me a different representative, but I called and said, no, I want to have Taylor. She's done episodes 1 and 2. She will do number 3 as well. Okay,
Sounds
just
good.
kidding. Just kidding. Yes, you are a representative. We will not trade you. It's all good.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Cool. All right. So for episode 3, what oils do you have for us today?
We have 3 oils. We have Deep Blue,
Okay.
doTERRA's blend of Breathe, and doTERRA's blend of Digest Zen.
Okay. So you said it's deep blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
it's a blend of breathe, as in BREATHE, breathe, like that.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then digest Zen.
Correct.
Okay. And that's a blend also, right?
Yes. Well, they're all 3 actually
Oh,
blends.
all 3 of
So.
us. Okay. Good. All right. Which one is first?
The first one is Deep Blue.
Okay.
Now, personally, with blends, I do not ingest them.
Okay.
But there are some that are labeled that they are digestible.
Okay.
But I do not digest any of them.
Okay. So before we continue, why don't we go ahead and put it out there for our listeners that we're talking about blends. At least two of the 3 oils are blends that we're talking about. And we do not advocate that you ingest them or that they are digestible. If you feel that way, or if you would like to use them for that purpose, the same thing that we said back in episode 1, we think you should you do the research or definitely consult an herbalist, a naturopath, or an aromatherapist before you consider digesting or ingesting any of these blends. Would that be accurate to say for you?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now that we've got that out there, let's go forward and talk about Deep Blue. Correct?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Deep Blue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Deep Blue.
Tell us about Deep Blue.
So Deep Blue can be used for joint pain, arthritis, sore muscles. It reminds me of BioFreeze. So if anyone out there uses BioFreeze, Deep Blue is like that.
Yes. I actually have I have a good friend on another triathlete, and she actually had just posted something the other day I saw about Deep Blue. She's done quite a few triathlons, many more than I have, and apparently Deep Blue works for her. So, all right, Deep Blue. Yeah. Do you have any clients that use Deep Blue?
Oh yeah, I actually had one client. I gave her a sample of the Deep Blue rub.
Sure.
And which has Deep Blue in it. But I gave her a sample of the Deep Blue rub. She was complaining about having some back pain. She called me that night and said, "Where do I get more of this?" Because I am like that. She's like, "That was awesome." I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, okay."
Nice.
I've also had another client use it for after working out. And then going to work and then coming home and then giving me a call and saying like, hey, this was working like all day for me. And I was like, oh, okay.
All right. So sounds like we have a winner so the Deep Blue oil is inside of obviously the Deep Blue rub, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Because I think my friend actually has the Deep Blue rub. That's what she was saying. And obviously that is proprietary to doTERRA, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's aches, soreness, right? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Purely topical application.
Yes, purely topical. Now I have used this for women out there for like cramping. Like if you're getting any type of cramping, I use that on like my stomach, when I'm having cramps or any type of pain like that, as well as back pain.
So okay. This is helpful for, you're saying, menstrual cramps, right? That's
correct.
Okay. So that's another good use for it. Sure. Anything else that Deep Blue? Now you're talking about the oil, though. I just want to make sure.
I'm talking about the oil. Yes.
Gotcha. Not the. Okay.
Right, but there is the oil in the rub. So now with menstrual cramps, like I've used both. I have really bad menstrual cramps, so I'll layer it, like we talked about in the last episode.
Sure.
I'll layer the oil and then I'll layer the rub on top of that, and that has helped me tremendously.
Oh, wait. Okay. So you will layer it with the frankincense first. Is it frankincense, right? That's what we talked about last episode. You would you strengthen the oil that you want to use for treatment.
Correct.
So so you layer it with the frankincense, and then on top would be the Deep Blue. Okay, nice. So that is a practical application of layering. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other uses for the Deep Blue oil?
No, that's mostly how it's used. I've seen it used. I've heard clients use it, and how I've used it. Those are the top uses.
Nice. Sounds like and clearly you've gotten quite a few phone calls saying, yeah, I want more. So
right, yes. I was like, oh, okay.
Sounds like it works. Right. All right. That's a ringing endorsement. Deep Blue, people. Deep Blue.
One thing I do want to say though with Deep Blue, a lot of the bottles that doTerra makes come in a 15 milliliter bottle.
Okay.
Deep Blue only comes in a 5 milliliter. So if you're trying to order it and then you're like, well, how come all these other bottles come in this bigger size and this one's the smallest? It only comes in that size.
Okay.
So
it only comes in the 5 milliliter bottles.
Yes, the oil only comes in the 5 milliliter. Yes.
Right. Now, is that because it's a higher concentration? Excuse me, a higher concentration than some of the other oils, or no particular reason, just a smaller bottle?
I am honestly not sure the specific reason to it.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not sure why this is the only one, but I do know that
it just comes in
there, because I think because there is a couple other oils that only come in 5 milliliter.
Okay.
And I think I believe it is because of the concentration of it, and trying to give out just a little bit here and there instead of a whole bunch of it.
Right.
So,
or if it was a bigger bottle, it might be that much more expensive. Okay.
That too.
Yeah. Understood. All right. Deep Blue. Sounds like you are a winner. What's next on our oil agenda?
Breathe.
All right. Breathe. What is Breathe? I'm gonna guess it's for aromatics.
Yes, you can use it topically as well, though.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. Tell us about Breathe.
So before I tell you about what it's used for, I just want to say that Breathe was the oil that got me started with doTerra. Breathe was the oil that I tried, and I said, okay, this works. Like,
Okay.
where do I get more? So for me, it wasn't Deep Blue, it was Breathe.
It was Breathe. Okay, Breathe was your in. All right.
Yes.
So Breathe might be a second runner up or a 1A to Deep Blue. Okay. All right. What
So
tell us
Breathe
about
can be
Breathe?
used for like congestions, coughs,
Mm-hmm.
head colds, those type
Mm-hmm.
of things. Now, I kind of associate Breathe with
Mm-hmm.
Vicks, a more natural
Ah,
solution to Vicks.
okay. So we did, I remember in episode 2, we talked about it was not frankincense, it was one of the oils. It was either oregano or tea tree, actually. I think that you said could be used like on the bottoms of the feet or
Mm-hmm.
bottoms of the feet or maybe somewhere else. And I think I had mentioned, oh, kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub. But what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying is Breathe is more associated or more like Vicks Vapor Rub purposes.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
So a little backstory about Breathe and how I got started with Breathe.
Sure. Absolutely.
My son was about 5 months old,
Mm-hmm.
and he just had a cold. Was having trouble sleeping. He couldn't
Mm-hmm.
sleep because he couldn't breathe.
Sure.
Breathe. So at the time, my sister-in-law, she was the one who got me started with DoTerra, and she was like, "Hey, I have this oil. Let's put it
Mm-hmm.
in the diffuser, and let's
Mm-hmm.
put it in his area around him and see if that opens up his airways." And
Okay.
it did, and he was able to sleep. And I was like, "Okay, I can sleep. If he can sleep, I can sleep. So where do I get more?"
Sold.
um,
Okay. I can understand why you were sold on that one first. Absolutely.
So that's how I got started with Breathe. And you
Okay.
can use it topically if
Mm-hmm.
you dilute it with a
Mm-hmm.
carrier oil.
Mm-hmm.
doTERRA does already sell this as a roller bottle already diluted for you if that is a route that you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we do use it. We kind of use it as our natural Vicks. So
Okay.
if I use it for myself, I'm rolling it on my chest and on my back and kind
Okay.
of where I can
The areas
smell
where
it.
you would the areas where you would put Vicks. Okay.
Correct.
All
Hmm.
right. Awesome. And I'm pretty sure you mentioned it aromatically, obviously in the diffuser, just
Correct.
as a mister or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Good, good. All right. So that is Breathe. And what is the third oil on our agenda today?
Digest Zen.
Okay. Digest Zen. I'm not going to make any guesses. I will just wait to be educated on Digest Zen.
So digestion can help with upset stomachs, heartburn,
Mm.
like vomiting, and acid reflux.
Mm. Okay. Um, so are some of the advisable uses for ingesting Digest Zen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we had briefly touched on oils in episode 1 that could be digested.
Hmm.
So let's dive into that a little bit. If you are to, obviously, we talked about do your research and speak to a certified herbalist, naturopath, or aromatherapist. If you were to digest one of these oils, or as in this case, digest Zen, how do you do that? What else do you need to do to accompany digesting an oil?
On the bottle, doTERRA
Hmm.
recommends at least 4 fluid ounces to 1 drop. So if you're gonna take it internally, you can add it to a glass of water,
Hmm.
1 drop with at least 4 ounces of water.
At a minimum, 4 ounces of water.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
how you could ingest them if that's something that you choose to do or the route that you choose to take.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Personally, I've used it just topically. I've not used it aromatically. I've just
Oh,
used it topically.
okay. Yeah, go ahead. Explain how you would use that topically also.
So diluting with a carrier oil,
Mm-hmm.
and this as well, Digest Zen is also available already pre-diluted by DoTerra
Sure.
in a roller bottle. But
Mm-hmm.
I've used it if I've had a stomach ache, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if I've eaten a lot, or
Mm-hmm.
we went out of town and we were eating a lot of fast food and restaurant food. And
Mm-hmm.
so I took Digest Then with me, and I
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
using it a lot to also as a preventative measure,
Mm.
to so that I wasn't getting stomach aches and,
Sure.
feeling kind of, ooh, I ate something I shouldn't have.
Right.
Um, so that's how I use it. I've also used it on my 4-year-old once again, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a little bit more diluted than
Mm-hmm.
what I
Okay.
would use for myself, like we talked about in episode 2. With
Right.
children, you want to make sure it's diluted a little bit more.
Right.
So I've used it on him one night. He said he wasn't feeling good and his stomach hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So we used it on him, and the next day he felt a whole lot better. He wasn't talking about his stomach hurting at all, actually. He just woke
Okay.
up and was fine.
And that's just again when you're saying topically on your stomach, this it's the dilution, excuse me, the dilution, and in the roller bottle, just kind of rolling it any specific area on the stomach, like the lower abdomen, upper abdomen, or just kind of wherever the pain might be or discomfort might be, I should say.
Wherever the discomfort may be.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if it was a specific area. Good.
Hmm.
Any other digestive area or any other uses for digest zen um, other than what you mentioned? You can do a quick recap, I guess. What was it that you had mentioned?
Upset stomach, heartburn,
Mm-hmm.
vomiting, acid reflux, and also motion sickness.
Motions, interesting. Okay, so um, I'm assuming you would, or I'll just ask the question: would you apply this topically um, beforehand to try to prevent these things? Like if you know that you are going to get motion sickness in a car, would
Hmm.
you would you apply it, and how and where would you apply it to prevent motion sickness?
I would personally apply it to my abdomen, because
Mm-hmm.
I know that when I think I've come to the conclusion that I have motion sickness, but
Okay,
when I'm in the car, I tend to get a really upset stomach,
sure.
and then I would also apply it to my wrists so that I could inhale it in hopes that the
Okay,
smell will, calm my stomach,
the
or
right. So it's not necessarily topical for that use. It's more aromatic for
mm-hmm,
helping with the motion sickness.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to that was an interesting use, and I wanted to find out more about that. Okay. And then the other uses, obviously topical on the stomach. For the acid reflux, have you had any of your clients, actually say they've used it for acid reflux?
I have not.
Okay.
Not
Gotcha.
yet. I won't.
Right.
Not
Right.
yet.
Right. 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 That's probably a good thing. Good thing. All right.
Yes. But
Awesome.
I will say, with all three of these oils that I've talked about, these are when we go anywhere, if we go on a
Mm-hmm.
road trip, or we're just going, down the road for the day. These
Mm-hmm.
are the oils I take. I take all three of these oils because if I have back pain, or my
Mm-hmm.
fiance has back pain, or we're using Deep Blue. If
Right.
the kids aren't feeling well and
Right.
they need something, we're using Breathe. And
Or if
then
it's
if they
motion
eat too
sickness, right?
right,
Mm-hmm.
if they eat something too much, or they
Mm,
they have a tummy ache, we're using Digest Zen.
right.
So these oils are always on us.
That's part of your road kit.
Yes, yes.
Traveling kit. Okay. Awesome. So I was going to ask you for a recap, but I think you kind of recapped it. So yeah, go ahead and give a recap though of the three oils that you spoke about today, and the uses, the general uses for each one of those oils.
Okay. So deep blue, we talked about, would be good for joint pain, arthritis, sore muscles. Breathe would be good for congestion, cough, head cold, anything of that sort. It's kind of like Vicks. And then digest Zen would be for motion sickness, upset stomach, heartburn type thing.
Sure. Awesome. So I don't think we mentioned this. We mentioned it in episode 1. Don't think we mentioned it in episode 2. But if anyone wanted to get in touch with you, obviously first they can get through the Live All Good website. They can message us there, or comment on any of the podcast episodes there. But how else can they get in touch with you if they wanted to find out more about the essential oils that you've talked about so far?
Well, I am on Instagram at Grigsby_Taylor. So you can always reach out to me there.
Nice.
And I'm posting things about oils, whatever promotions doTerra has for the month. I try to post that and keep up with that for everyone to see. So you can always check there. And you can also email me at taylorgrigsby.doterra@gmail.com. So that's TAYLOR Grigsby GRIGSBY. That's one whole phrase. Dot doTerra DOTERRA@gmail.com.
Nice. All right, and I will also include those in a blog post, so that if anyone wants to reach out, you can find out more about the essential oils that are in our series. All right. Once again, Taylor, thank you so much for enlightening us and bringing 3 new oils to our series. Is there any final thoughts for episode 3 that you would like our listeners to come away with?
Well, one thing I do want to say, I haven't said it before, but when you're trying natural products, it's important to remember that it's like trying home remedies. What may work for one person may not work for you. So don't be afraid to try other things, because what may have worked for me may not work for you. And what works for you may not work for me. But there's probably something out there that will work. You just have to keep trying it. So that's something to keep in mind, that not all oils are going to work the same for one person's body as they do for someone else's.
Understood. No, that's a really good point. That same thing that we talk about with our health coaching, some of my clients, the foods that work for one person don't necessarily work for the other person. So it's the same process that you're talking about here. All the oils don't work for everybody. We are describing some general uses for them, accepted practical uses of them, but feel free to reach out to Taylor or reach out to me on the website, and we can actually help you to kind of determine what might work for you. And that's kind of what we're here for. We're giving you some general uses of well-known oils, but we're also here to help curate the information for you so that we can find specifically what works for you. That's actually what you do, correct, Taylor? That's really what you're doing. You're helping your clients find the specific blends, the specific oils, and what works for them.
Right.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. Well, I think that is all we have for episode 3. But again, guys, stay tuned, because we still have 2 more episodes to go in our 5-part series of essential oils. Once again, we'd like to thank our doTerra representative, Taylor, for being with us today. And we will see you all on episode 4. Please stay tuned.